Good afternoon, I'm Colette Linden.
And I'm Danny Dupuis. Welcome to the special report, afternoon edition.
Afternoon edition, not the 2 p.m. edition, the 1 p.m. edition.
I got it that right first.
So today we're waiting for the premiere again. As you guys know how the deal goes with the 1 o'clock edition. We will throw to the premiere, we'll cut to the screen and cut Christopher off when we need to. We have a couple of quick announcements. First, to McDougall Energy, we wanted to say thank you. They're doing a special initiative to truck drivers where they're giving them free coffee, free food, just to ease their travels as they go down Highway 17, I guess.
Yeah, they're doing it all over too. So if you get a chance, log on to their webpage and you can actually see which gas stations and other areas are offering these free items.
Way to go, McDougall Energy. Thanks for your help. You down with OPP?
Yeah, you know me.
There's a special message from the OPP saying your number one Easter long weekend traffic safety tip, stay home.
Simple.
What are you going to do?
Stay home.
And now we're going to stay with Chris and see what he has to say.
Hi. Don't you have something about the Easter Bunny first?
Oh, yes. We have to talk about the Easter Bunny.
Sorry. Danny, tell us about the Easter Bunny.
So,
my bad.
I'm not sure if anyone knows this, but the Easter Bunny is an essential service. I love it. Supposedly Doug Ford posted on Facebook a nice, lengthy confirmation of essential service for the Easter Bunny and wrote, "I hereby confirm that the Easter Bunny is an essential service provided authority to deliver chocolate and sweets to kids." So, you know what? That's actually keeping in high spirits. That's pretty awesome that he's confirming
it's an official resolution.
Official. Oh, and same with the Tooth Fairy too. So be careful there. And now, Chris, we have some more information for us about that.
Yes, apparently the Easter Bunny's communications manager is giving the public more information than the Algoma Public Health communications manager is. So we will now be looking at the provincial numbers in my segment coming up. We have 21 more dead in the province, and we also saw an increase to the 550 new cases yesterday, which is a new daily record for the amount of COVID-19 cases that we have. And I'll also be talking about Bernie Sanders dropping out of the U.S. presidential primaries for the Democratic Party. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Chris. Sorry about that mistake, everybody. I forgot that Chris had that little tidbit about the communications banner, and then we had to segue that in, so my bad. So, what are you doing during the quarantine when you go home, Danny? Do you have anything?
I go home, go for a run. Oh, I'm working on a puzzle.
Okay,
it's great.
Puzzle? Okay, that's pretty. That's pretty. Calm.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
Well, we've got this video to show you where this mom walked in and finding her kids, had a haircut by their other kid.
Good job.
Like that? Yeah, not too bad.
No, not at all.
And
there it is.
Okay. So if I was that mother, I'd be in tears.
I'd cry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know hair grows. Look at that poor little face. So I know hair grows back, but seriously. So we want to know what you guys are doing during the quarantine, during the day, evenings. We've had some pretty funny videos been sent to us. So please send it to our special report, ssm@gmail.com. And be as funny as you can, please.
We're looking for anything. I mean, we were even speaking with people who are teaching themselves how to sing, how to play guitar. So there's lots out there that you can do. And we want to know. Tell us. It might be a good idea for us to do at home, too.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? We read something on the newscast this morning. It was of interest. The Victim Services in Sault Ste. Marie is getting some money to accommodate all the additional unfortunate incidents that have been going on. So it's a pretty serious topic, very serious story. But the Victim Services of Algoma and the Sioux is going to receive $65,000 as part of a one-time emergency payment. And this is going to help out, like I said, with the unfortunate overflow to the shelters right now. A lot of people are at home together and issues are happening. So.
Oh, and speaking of shelters too, which is really cool and innovative, there are some curling clubs that are actually turning into, oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Homeless shelters. I was just reading about one in Alberta. I forget the name of it right now, but they full-blown turned their whole entire curling rink into a homeless shelter. That's awesome.
That's what Chris was saying in the earlier show today. That in Toronto, they're turning the public libraries into shelters as well. So
they're turning them into food banks.
Food banks. I apologize, but still being very creative and ingenious with their ideas. So we're just going to cut to a split screen. We see our lovely provincial flags there, but we do not see our premier, who, by the way, is doing a great job of keeping this province informed and has made some great decisions to keep us all safe, in my very humble opinion.
He presents himself really well, I think, too.
I'm very happy with both Trudeau and how Ford are handling the situation. I think we are lucky at the provincial and federal level right now that we have people who know what they're doing in the situation and are bringing in the right people to do it. It's
Yeah. Well, like you were
they're
saying,
working very well together.
like you were saying earlier, Chris, with public health, keeping people informed and communicating, and we can't go wrong with our national and our provincial leaders at the moment. I had an interview with Mike Nadeau today as part of the hashtag In This Together SSM initiative that we're doing with the Chamber of Commerce, and he shared some great information. So he wants you to know, and you will see this interview tomorrow morning at our 8 o'clock show, and we are going to have it on our YouTube channel too. But he was saying that when you call 911, part of the procedure now is to say also include if anybody's sick in the house or been sick in the house. But he just wants to get it out there to the community of Sault Ste. Marie that if you have to call 911, go ahead and do that, use their services, but also include that information. He's also going to be releasing a press release later today with regards to opening a daycare center in conjunction with the YMCA.
Oh my gosh, so many breaking news stories today.
I know. And what's yours? You have one too.
I had an interesting interview this morning with CEO and president of Hello Cannabis, Stephen Verbeek, and he instructed us that not now, but in the next few days, there's going to be questions and movements to get online delivery and as well as curbside pickup. So that's awesome. I mean, within a span of 2 days, they went from closing their doors to all of a sudden being, okay, we can offer online and potentially curbside pickup. So that's awesome. And that interview will be coming up shortly as well. Hopefully Friday we'll be airing it, but we also did a little quick news update with it as well.
Oh, that's cool. And you did that with the CEO, or is that, that's awesome. Well, look at us getting all the breaking stories in Sault Ste. Marie. There's another story that came out today, and that's with our premier when he addressed the nation today with regards to the changes to the Canada Summer Jobs Program. And there's a lot of good information in what came out today, and I'm actually going to throw it over to Chris just to highlight that before he goes into his COVID-19 update. Over to you, Chris.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, so there's some changes this year to the Summer Jobs Program. Now, first off, these are temporary changes just for 1 year. This is not; these changes are not going to be for going forward in future years. The first is the wage subsidy. Normally, it's 50% of minimum wage. Now, the government will be paying up to 100% of the minimum wage in the province. And then they will also be, they've extended how long you can actually have students all the way to February the 28th, 2021. You can also, if you're an employer and you are changing what you're doing into an essential service, let's say you're making N95 masks, for example, you can hire students to do those jobs as well if your company has changed into an essential service. And you can hire students part-time as well. So there's a bunch of different options there now for employers who can now hire students, know that at least they're going to be able to pay that student minimum wage. So that's good news from the federal government today. That's what Trudeau announced. Now here in Ontario, we have 174 people who have now died of COVID-19. We have 550 new cases today, which is a new record, which breaks the record we had on Friday of 426. We did see the last few days that number went down, now it's popped back up. Also, we have more people on ventilators now, and also the first person under the age of 40 has now passed away, and I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Chris. So I love me a little Bob Marley, little reggae action. We are going to throw to a commercial break, but before we do that, there's an important message from a little Bob Marley fan who we want to show you, and he will throw it to commercial for us.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning on my horizon. 3 little birds were on my doorstep.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. and doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Everman Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
I love that little boy.
I was waiting for you to say it. That's why I didn't say anything.
So cute.
Don't worry about a thing. How cute was that kid? Oh my gosh. So this morning's newscast, I got to say one of my favorite words, and that's ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous.
What's your favorite word?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
There is a little bit of a story for
There's
pineapple.
There's got to be a story there.
It was way back in high school. We were going to a cross-country meet, and I had the hiccups, and my coach said, just say pineapples randomly, and it'll make it go away. Well, during warm-up, doesn't she come up to me and scream, pineapple? And it luckily made my hiccups go away. Scared me, but the hiccups were gone.
Well, it
so
works.
pineapple just sticks in my head.
So you'll see the split screen here. The premiere is going to come on anytime soon, but before that happens, we're going to give Chris a chance to talk today.
Over to Chris.
Over to you, Chris.
Alrighty, thank you very much, ladies. Bernie Sanders has now decided to drop out of the Democratic primary in the States, so he is no longer trying to run for the president. For the presidential candidate for the Democrats. Believe it or not, they actually had an in-person primary yesterday in Wisconsin. The governor tried to shut it down, but the court, which slants Republican, forced the primary to go on. Bernie Sanders lost that primary, and so he's decided to drop out, probably because it's in everyone's best interest not to be going in person to primaries, where most of the people that work at them tend to be elderly. I'm not sure what Wisconsin's Supreme Court was thinking there, but hey, that's their thing. So Sanders was the first person actually to get over 2 million small donations of an average donation of $21 because he really energized the progressive part of the Democratic Party. He was also very popular with students and young people, and he was also able to grab a large part of the Latino demographic as well, which made up sort of like Bernie's army. And those individuals were just not enough to push him over the top to be able to go up against Biden. Biden is living in his house and doing meetings from his basement, but he is looking at running mates already. Biden is now the presumed candidate. No one else is really left in that could challenge him. So we'll see what happens there going forward, if they even bother with the future primaries or not. And I'm going to send it back to the desk. See me tonight at 7, by the way, for the Trump story I mentioned this morning that I didn't get to today. Back to you, ladies.
Thanks, Chris. Quite the story about little Bernie there. Do you see someone approaching the podium? I think it was the same guy that faked us out yesterday. So that is not Doug Ford. That is not Doug Ford. So we've got our hashtag in this together SSM initiative going on still. Send us your videos. We'll have all those up on our YouTube page. We want you to send your stories to specialreportssm@gmail.com, and we will see you tomorrow at 8 a.m.
See you tomorrow.